Hey guys, so I am on here and I know it's been a very long time. And basically, remember, I come on here just to talk about books I've been reading. I truly believe that a child grows intellectually when they read. People grow intellectually when they read. So I believe in finding things that you like to read. So I come on and tell you about it. I'll admit it's been a minute. Been drowning in paperwork, grading things, and doing other matters, even working on my own novel. So pretty much when I take my breaks, I'll read. But I don't like to read and I'm working because I'll find myself incorporating things maybe from the plot that I want. So I remember Keisha Cole sharing when she is creating an album, she doesn't listen to any music. Okay. So pretty much what I just got through finished reading is oh Jesus, I'm mad I forgot the book that quick. But let me pull it up for you because I always want you to see the title of the book. Um so let me go in my photos and it's gonna take a little minute. There it is. No, it's not, it's right here. This one's called Some Places More Than Others. This is by Renee Watson. I already told you about this author before. She does not disappoint. She is one of my top authors, and there's a lot of them, but there's a lot of great talent out there. So Renee Watson has written books like Watch Us Rise. I think I've already come on and talked about that. If not, I need to do that next. She has read, my first book I read about hers was This Side of Home. I think I've told you about that one. If I'm not, I will come back and talk about that one. Um, oh gosh, it's so many of them. There's another one she read that I really loved, The Pieces of Me. So if I have not talked to you about those books, I'll come on and talk about it because I remember I did promise to come and talk to y'all about, a snippet of her books. The only book I'll admit that was slow for me to read was Watch Us Rise. And once it picked up, it picked up. But some places are home, some places more than others. You have Amara, who is 12 years old. She's your suburban kid, loves Jordans, loves Nike. Her dad works for Nike, which I thought was super dope. I can't remember exactly what he did, but he traveled across the country promoting his shoes, and as a result he would get special invites. So there's a part in the book where him, Amara, his nieces, and his aunt, and I want to say the grandfather too, go to an NBA All-Star game and get these grab bags that have iPads and headphones in them. I thought that was pretty dope. But she loves new shoes. She loves sneakers to the point that every now and again Nike will open up their store to special visitors and then employees of Nike, and you have to get there super early because the line is really long to get shoes. Well, Amara really wants for her 12th birthday to go to New York. She has never been to New York. She always hears her mom and dad talk about New York. Her mom is actually a clothing designer. She has her own store and she makes dresses for Amara. Amara's not really into dresses. And what I took from that point is sometimes parents, we have to be careful what we say to our kids because she was internalizing things her mom would tell to her, even though her mom meant no harm by it. And she would make dresses for Amara, and Amara didn't like to wear dresses. The one dress she did like, she could wear her Jordans with. And I don't know what Jordans, but in the book, she tells you the particular Jordans that she likes and she loves to wear. But she admitted to her, she finally admits, that, mom, when you said those things, well, she was talking to someone about her mom and they said, we need to tell your mom. And basically she said, when she says, I wish you would wear dresses, I don't know whose daughter you are and why aren't you like me? And ironically, the mother is having a daughter for the first time in years. I think they had like 3 or 4 miscarriages after Amara. Or they would, they would have miscarriages. And as a result, Amara's not really excited about the baby, but Amara wonders if this new little girl is going to be the little girl that her mom wants. And it just made me see, as a parent, we have to be careful what we tell our kids. We may be joking about it, but they could be internalizing as we don't like them or they're not the one for us. But Amara finally convinces her parents to let her. The dad is willing for her to go, but the mom is like, she's too young to be in New York by herself. And her dad's like, it's not like we're gonna have her walking around by herself. So they end up going to New York. Dad has a business trip, and at the end of the business trip, they're going to the NBA All-Star game at the Brooklyn Nets, and it's pretty dope. Like she basically wants to feel a connection to her dad's side of the family. Even though she talks to the grandfather on the phone, she never met her grandmother, which she finds out, ironically, the grandmother passed away when Amara was born. Dad's from New York. Mom and dad met in New York when they both went to NYU. She's learning about the city, and she gets to hang out with her older cousins, who one of them has a problem with Amara. You're spoiled. You think you're all that. I don't want to deal with you. Why we got to take her around the city? Why she got to take pictures of everything? But Amara just wants to learn more about her city, because before she left, her English teacher assigned, I thought was a great project. And the project pretty much was, they had a suitcase and they had to fill it up about how do you find yourself? Who are you as a person? So she felt like this trip would be great for her to add to her project, and great for her. I'm waving to y'all. How are y'all doing? It'll be great for her to learn more about herself, learn more about her grandma Grace. And then her mission, though, is to get her grandfather and her father back talking again. She doesn't know why, and she does find out in the book, but she doesn't know why her grandfather and the father had not spoken to each other since Amara was born, also the same day her grandmother passed away. So Amara's mission that her mom gives her, you got to get your grandfather and your father back connected. So you have to read the book to learn more and find out, is she actually successful? One thing it made me want to do is that I never been to New York, and my family members, like my mom, my aunts, either have lived in New York for a period of time, even my dad, or I have cousins who live in New York. And honestly, it's making me really want to take a trip up there and learn the history, our history that connects. Because a lot of us who are from the South, our family ended up moving up north, and usually it was New York, and that's definitely an occurrence on both sides of my family. Especially like my Uncle John, he still has a house in New York. My cousins, his children still live in New York, and he's down here in South Carolina. So it just connecting and trying to find more about your past and learning. Well, maybe because a lot of our kids don't realize the reason why they have some of the habits, some of the hobbies, some of the giftings that they have is because of us. Is because of our family and our connections, and that's what Amara's learning more about herself. So it's a great book. I love the family dynamic that's represented in the book. She had an awesome relationship with her mom, even though she did feel a little slighted by the mom. But she loved her mom and she cared for her mom. And I remember when they thought something was going to happen to the baby, she was concerned and she called her mom every day. How's everything? How's the baby doing? Are you doing what the doctor asked you to do? The way her father adored her. And her older cousins had a problem with that because their father was in prison. And that comes out in the book, and that becomes a point of contention. So I loved how he adored her. He pampered her. I just love that because that's a good image to see, fathers and how they are with their daughters. So again, I strongly recommend reading Renee Watson, some places more than others. She has other books. I'm going to just go through my timeline on YouTube and see if I have done any other book talks by her, and if I haven't, then I will come back on here to talk about those books, because when I say she does not disappoint, she's awesome. All her characters are based in Portland, Oregon, where she's from. Oh, my favorite one by her is What Mama Left Me. If you have not read that one, please read that one. Beginning of the book, the main character and her brother find the mom dead in the kitchen, and dad is missing. They don't know where he is. That is a good book. That, when I say the amount of drama, there's not a lot of drama in Renee Watson's books, but it's a good storyline. Okay, but that book, oh my gosh, it took me on a roller coaster ride of emotions. But when I say I loved it, I love everything that she writes. So wherever you can get a book online or whatever, check it out. Happy reading.